Welcome to Cold War Whatifs. The Baath Party was a pan Arab party with some socialist and extreme nationalist views, which led Iraq from the 1960s to 2003 and Syria from the 1960s all the way up till the present day under Bashar al Assad. But in our timeline, the Baath Party in both Iraq and Syria was dominated by the right wing or the nationalist wing of the Baath Party. For example, in Iraq, we had Saddam Hussein and al-Bakr, who were more on the side of Iraqi nationalism than true pan-Arab nationalism. However, it is very little known to people that there was a fledgling left wing in both the Baath parties of Iraq and Syria. Let's take a look at them. In Iraq, the left wing of the Baath party was led by a name called Ali Salih al-Sadi. So let's call him Ali Salih from now on. So Ali was a left-winger. Now he wasn't a Marxist as such, but he was a pseudo-Marxist, meaning that he had some Marxist leanings. Now in our timeline, at some point in 1963, after the Ramadan Revolution, which removed Abdul Karim Qasim from power, Ali Salih al-Sadi had quite a lot of power as he led the paramilitary wing of the Baath Party. But he was removed from power by the right wing under Ahmad Hassan al-Bakr, as they collaborated with the Nasirists. However, had Ali Salih al-Sadi played his cards right and outmaneuvered his opponents, he could have went on to become the dictator of Iraq. Under Ali Salih al-Sadi, the Baath Party would have been much more socialist. He would have nationalized all of the businesses inside Iraq. Another important thing that he would have done is nationalization of oil. Now, in our timeline, Saddam Hussein nationalized oil after the 1973 oil crisis to gain more power. But under Ali Salih al-Sadi, Iraq would have probably nationalized oil much before, about 8 to 10 years before Saddam Hussein did it. This would have made Iraq much more financially self-sufficient, but its relations with the Western powers would have gone down even more. Additionally, Ali Salih al-Sadi would have also forged a sort of alliance with the USSR, which in our timeline Saddam did well into the 1970s. Now we come to Syria. In Syria, the left wing of the Baath Party actually did hold power for some time in our timeline between 1966 and 1970. This left wing of the Baath Party was led by a man called Salah Jadid. Salah Jadid was the de facto leader of Syria between 1965 and 1970 as the assistant regional secretary of the Syrian regional branch of the Baath Party. Jadid was of the Syrian nationalist and left-wing Kotri camp of the Baath Party. Now, in our timeline, Salah Jadid was removed in 1970 after Hafez al-Assad's corrective revolution. But if Salah Jadid somehow managed to defeat Hafez al-Assad, then he would transform Syria into a radical left-wing Baathist state. He would immediately move Syria closer to the USSR, and he would also completely break diplomatic relations with countries that he deems reactionary, such as Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Jadid was also wary of too large a membership in the party, believing that the majority of those who join are mere opportunists. Jadid also had some weird ideas about Greater Syria. He thought that Syrians were the true Semitic people with true Semitic values. He called the Jews as Khazar mongrels. He did not consider Jews to be true Semitics. Jadid would be very aggressive towards Israel. In our timeline, there was a brief period of peace between 1970 and 1972, where Egypt and Syria stopped the war of attrition against Israel before going to an actual war in 1973. But no, under Salah Jadid, the radical war of attrition shall continue. Apart from his foreign policies, Jadid would, of course, nationalize everything in Syria. He would also probably embark on widespread land reforms that Hafez al-Assad did not do in his time. He would probably bring 95% of Syria's arable land directly under the state and set up revolutionary command councils. These command councils would also have their own paramilitaries to root out subversion and counter-revolutionary activities on a micro level. He would probably become some sort of a Gaddafi of Syria. In this timeline, if Gaddafi takes power, then he would play second fiddle to the more radical Salah Jadid. But But there is a big possibility that after the war of 1973, if the Syrians do not perform well, then Salah Jadid would be removed from power. But until 1973, he would continue to keep up radical activities. In our timeline, Jadid supported the 1970 Black September Revolution against the King of Jordan by Palestinian militants. If Jadid survived after 1970, then he would continue to finance radical Palestinian militants and even finance the terrorist attack on Israeli players that in our timeline were actually financed by Muammar Gaddafi, allegedly. In this timeline, Jadid would do it and would be proud of doing it. Jadid would be extremely radical. Thankfully, such kind of left-wing Baathists did not take power in our timeline. But what do you think? What did you think of this video and this new concept? Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts and have a good day. Salam.